Think we covered all the hidden Stranger Things secrets last time? Oh, sweet summer child. Hawkins is basically a bottomless pit of Easter eggs, callbacks, and behind-the-scenes chaos. So, here we go again. 7 more Stranger Things secrets you probably missed. Grab your walkie-talkie, we're going deeper into the Upside Down. Montauk, the name that got canceled. Because Hawkins almost had beachfront property instead of cornfields. Before Hawkins existed, the show wasn't even called Stranger Things. The original pitch was Montauk, set in New York, complete with coastal vibes, government experiments, and a monster lurking by the beach. But filming logistics in Montauk were a nightmare, so the Duffers moved the story to Indiana, and suddenly the entire aesthetic clicked. Small town, Midwest nostalgia, bikes everywhere, cornfields for days. And the rest is spooky, ego-filled history. Hawkins, Georgia. Real town, real spooky. Because Hawkins isn't in Indiana, it's in full-on cosplay. Hawkins, Indiana might seem like the sweetest, cursed town in America, but behind the scenes, it's just Atlanta in a very committed costume. Yep, most of Stranger Things' Hawkins is filmed in small towns around Georgia. The school, Georgia. The neighborhoods, Georgia. Downtown Hawkins, still Georgia. So technically, the portal to the Upside Down is just a short drive off I-85. Upside Down, aka the Nether. Even the alternate dimension had a midlife crisis name. Believe it or not, the Upside Down wasn't the original name. Early scripts and production notes called it the Nether. Cool name, kinda spooky, but not nearly as creepy as the final version. Upside Down sounds innocent, which somehow makes it worse. Starcourt Mall, real 80s shopping, real creepy history. Malls weren't just for VHS tapes. They're horror set gold. Season 3's Starcourt Mall wasn't a set. It was a real, dying 80s mall called Gwinnett Place Mall. Production took it over, rebuilt storefronts, added neon, and basically resurrected peak 1985 shopping energy. So when you're watching the Mind Flayer crash through Orange Julius, that's a real mall getting its best gig in decades. Scrunchie cult, 80s hair tricks by hand. Because nothing screams 80s more than a hand-stitched ponytail. You know how Max and Eleven do that wholesome Season 3 girl bonding makeover montage? Here's the secret. One of the ways the costume team showed their growing friendship was by giving them the same handmade scrunchie in different episodes. Yep, the scrunchies weren't store-bought at all. The costume department literally hand-stitched dozens of 1980s accurate scrunchies because modern ones didn't look period correct. So next time Max and Eleven share a moment, check the ponytails. Their friendship was sewn together, literally. From horror roots to Hawkins High, where a glitchy horror script became a kid-friendly monster binge. Before Stranger Things was the cozy, nostalgic horror buffet we know, the Duffer Brothers had a whole different plan. They actually pitched themselves to direct the 2017 remake of It, but Warner Brothers turned them down because they didn't have enough experience. So the Duffers said, "Fine, we'll make our own supernatural horror story." And that rejected pitch became the DNA for Stranger Things. In other words, no rejection, no Demogorgon. When the tears were real, improvised scenes you felt. Script didn't call for it, but the feels sure did. Some of the most emotional Stranger Things moments weren't scripted at all. First, Eddie Munson's heartbreaking "I love you, man" to Dustin, 100% improvised by Joseph Quinn, which is why it shattered all of us. Then there's Lucas in the attic screaming, "Erica, help!" Caleb McLaughlin added that line on the spot, and it turned the scene into something raw and unforgettable. And the big one, Hopper and Joyce's long-awaited kiss in the Season 4 finale? Totally improvised. David Harbour and Winona Ryder just went for it, and the Duffers kept it. Proof that sometimes the best Stranger Things moments aren't written, they're felt. Hear that clock chime? That's your reminder to comment if you want a part 3, before Vecna adds you to his mood board. And subscribe so 11 doesn't have to drag you back from the upside down herself. See you on the right side up, nerds!